Their names were Michael and Sarah. They were a normal American family. Michael worked in construction management. Sarah was a school teacher. Together, they made about $120,000 a year. They did everything right. They saved. They bought a house. They believed in the American dream. And 3 times, the system took it all away from them. Michael and Sarah bought their house in 2004 for $285,000. It was in a decent suburb about 45 minutes from the city. Nothing fancy. Just a place to raise kids. They put down 10%, $28,500 they had saved from years of work. The bank gave them a 30-year mortgage at a rate of 6.5%. Their monthly payment was about $1,900. Between their salaries, they could afford it. It was tight, but it was possible. The average house price in 2004, $184,000. Michael and Sarah's house, $285,000. Already above median. They weren't wealthy. But they weren't supposed to have to worry. 2 steady incomes. A house. A retirement plan. Kids' college fund started. Michael's job had been stable for 12 years. Sarah had tenure as a teacher. By all measures, they were secure. They had no idea that in 3 years, they would lose everything. By 2007, something was changing in America. Nobody really understood it at first. It happened quietly, away from dinner tables and family homes. Banks had been packaging mortgages, including bad ones, and selling them as investments. These investments were marked as safe. They were not. When people started defaulting on their mortgages, the entire system began to crack. By late 2007, subprime mortgage defaults had increased 300% year over year. Michael and Sarah didn't understand any of this. They had a fixed 30-year mortgage. They were paying it on time every single month. They thought they were safe. In September 2008, everything changed. Michael's company was in construction. They built commercial developments and residential complexes. When the financial crisis hit, development stopped overnight. Nobody was buying. Nobody was building. In October 2008, Michael's company laid off 40% of its workforce. Michael was among them. Unemployment in 2008 started at 5%. By December 2008, it was 7.3%. By 2009, it reached 10%. Suddenly, Michael's income was gone. Completely gone. No severance. No warning. Just gone. They had about $12,000 in savings. Their mortgage payment was $1,900 a month. Sarah's teacher salary was $48,000 a year, about $3,200 after taxes. The math didn't work. Michael found work within 2 months, a job paying $35,000 a year instead of $65,000. Combined, they now made about $83,000. Before taxes, that was $6,900 a month. Their mortgage, property taxes, insurance, and utilities were $2,400 a month. 2008 to 2009, Michael and Sarah's household income dropped 31%. Their mortgage payment stayed the same. For 8 months, they paid their mortgage on time. They cut everything else. No restaurants. No vacations. No new clothes. Every dollar went to the mortgage, but in May 2009, they couldn't make the payment. They were $3,800 short. Michael called the bank. He explained the situation. Job loss. Income reduction. But he said he wanted to keep the house. He was committed to paying. The bank told him they didn't offer loan modifications. He could pay in full or face foreclosure. The foreclosure process in 2008 to 2009, banks rejected 75% of loan modification requests. They preferred foreclosure because it allowed them to seize the house and sell it. By September 2009, Michael and Sarah's house was auctioned off at a foreclosure sale. They got nothing. 17 years of a mortgage, and they walked away with nothing. 10 million Americans lost their homes during the 2008 to 2010 financial crisis. Many had been paying their mortgages on time. After foreclosure, Michael and Sarah's credit was destroyed. Their credit score dropped to 480, essentially financial death. But they didn't give up. They rented an apartment for $1,200 a month. They worked. They saved. Every single month, they put money aside. Money they would need to rebuild. By 2012, 4 years after losing their first house, they had saved $45,000. They had rebuilt their credit to the low 600s. It was enough. Average savings rate after foreclosure, Americans save 8% of income. Michael and Sarah saved 15%, extraordinary discipline. In 2013, they bought another house. This time for $220,000. They put down $45,000, 20% down payment. A real down payment, the way the bank wanted. Michael had been at his job for 5 years. Sarah still taught school. Their combined income had grown to $95,000. They were approved for a mortgage. They thought they had learned their lesson. They thought they understood the system now. They did not. In 2013, interest rates on mortgages began rising. For those with adjustable-rate mortgages or interest-only loans, payments suddenly jumped. Michael and Sarah's new mortgage was 5.5%, a fixed rate, which they thought was safe. But the property taxes in their new area were significantly higher than expected. And there was something in the mortgage they didn't fully understand: interest-only payments for the first 5 years, then a jump in payments to full principal plus interest. In 2018, their mortgage payment jumped from $950 per month, interest only, to $1,850 per month, principal plus interest. A 95% increase, overnight. Michael was now making $72,000. Sarah was making $52,000. After taxes, they had about $7,700 a month. With the new mortgage payment, property taxes, insurance, utilities, and basic living expenses, they had $800 left over. One unexpected expense would destroy them. In September 2018, Sarah's car broke down. The repair would cost $4,200. They didn't have it. They missed a mortgage payment. They tried to catch up. They couldn't. The second foreclosure process, faster than the first. By March 2019, the family's second house was auctioned. For the second time in 11 years, Michael and Sarah lost a house. For the second time, they had equity stolen from them. This time, something was different. They were broken. After the second foreclosure, their credit score dropped to 450. It was worse than after the first one. Michael tried to find better work. He sent out hundreds of applications. Nobody would hire him. When companies ran background checks, they saw foreclosure. Foreclosure. Bad credit. He stayed at his $72,000 job. In 2020, the pandemic hit. Construction slowed. Michael's hours were cut. His income dropped to $48,000. Combined, Michael and Sarah now made $100,000 again, but they were paying rent of $1,500 a month in a market where rental prices had skyrocketed. Average rent as percentage of income in 2005, 28%. Average rent in 2020, 32%. For Michael and Sarah, 38%. In 2021, they tried to buy another house. They had saved $30,000. Their credit was still terrible. No bank would approve them for a mortgage. They were trapped in rental apartments forever. And rents kept rising. As of 2024, Michael and Sarah are still renting. They're now paying $2,100 a month for a two-bedroom apartment. That's 60% of their household income, a percentage that financial advisors say makes poverty inevitable. For every $100 of income, Americans should spend no more than $30 on housing. Michael and Sarah spend $60. They have no retirement savings. Their 401ks were cashed out during the financial crisis to pay mortgages. They have no equity. They have no assets. They have no generational wealth to pass to their children. Two children who will graduate college with student loans instead of inherited assets. Michael and Sarah's story is not unique. It is not a tragedy born of carelessness or stupidity. It is the story of a financial system that was deliberately designed to extract wealth from families like them. 10 million Americans lost homes during 2008 to 2010. Many never recovered. Of those who lost homes and tried to buy again, 60% faced foreclosure a second time. The banks that sold toxic mortgages? They were bailed out with $700 billion in government money. Michael and Sarah? They received nothing. The system didn't fail. It worked exactly as designed. It extracted $285,000 from Michael and Sarah's first house. It extracted $175,000 from their second house. $460,000 in total equity, wealth they built with their own labor, stolen by a system that deemed them disposable. The worst part? They did everything right. Both times. They worked. They saved. They tried to follow the rules. The system punished them for it. And because it happened twice, it will likely never happen a third time. Michael and Sarah will never own a home again. They will rent until they die. Michael and Sarah's story is your warning. These are the traps to avoid. How to protect yourself, 5 critical lessons. 1. Understand the mortgage before signing. Fixed rate versus adjustable rate mortgages are fundamentally different. Interest-only periods that balloon are predatory. Read every page. Ask for explanations you understand. If your mortgage payment can change unpredictably, it's a trap. 2. Never overextend on housing. Housing should be 25 to 30% of your income. Not 40%. Not 50%. If you need both incomes to make the mortgage, you cannot afford the house. One job loss equals foreclosure. Plan for it. 3. Build real equity, not debt. A house is only wealth if you own it. A mortgage is debt. Don't confuse the two. Build 6 to 12 months of emergency savings before buying. This one fund saves you from foreclosure when crisis hits. 4. Loan modifications exist, but you must fight for them. If you miss a payment, call your lender immediately. Ask for a loan modification. Most will say no automatically. Insist. Get it in writing. Escalate. 40% of denials are overturned when you push. 5. Know your legal rights during foreclosure. Banks must follow specific procedures. If they don't, you can sue. Get a lawyer, many work for free on foreclosure cases. Document everything. Most foreclosures have legal flaws that can delay or stop them. Michael and Sarah did everything society told them to do. They worked hard. They saved. They tried twice. They failed twice. Not because they made mistakes. Because the system is built so that families like them will fail.